The F1 vibes are already everything. I wrote down a few books that are kind of at the top of my list. Felt a bit slumpy. Another pre-order. Hi, hello, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be an ultimate book vlog. So we are going to be going book shopping. We are going to be unboxing some books. We are going to be reading books. We're going to be talking about books. We're going to be updating Notion and series tracker sheets. So I hope that you guys enjoy. I love watching these types of videos and I wanted to make a version for myself. So to start the video, we are first going to talk about some books that I have just read, I'm currently reading, and I'm about to start reading. And I'm going to do a little bit of reading, and then it's actually tomorrow that I'm going to go book shopping, so I'll be bringing you along with me. I have some books, they're behind me actually, over there, that we are going to unbox as well, that some of them have been sitting there for a while and I just need to open them. This video seems like a perfect idea, an excuse to just finally open some of those books. Let's get into it. So I have literally just finished A Curse of Blood and Stone. If you watched my vacation reading vlog, you will know that I picked up this book on the way home. So when we were on the aeroplane, I started this book. It has been a week, literally a week today, since I got home, and I've literally only just finished this book, so it's been slow going. I feel like I felt a bit slumpy. I've definitely spoken about this before on my channel, I think, but I just really struggle with reading in summertime. I don't know why, like I do. It's the same way I think that I struggle with reading on weekends. I think that in general it's just a busier time. There's lots of things going on, like social occasions and seeing people, and sorry, just got interrupted. But basically, yeah, I just struggle during summer because it's just busy, I have other things going on. Also, I think when we got back from holiday, I had like Love Island to catch up on and other things. So yeah, I don't know. It's been a bit slow on the reading front, but I actually did really enjoy this. This is the second book in the Fate and Flame series by K.A. Tucker, which is a fantasy romance series. And this one's quite a bit shorter, I think, than the first one, from memory. And to be honest, it's a little bit of a filler book, but I still really enjoyed it. I think that the progression in the romance was really good. I liked getting an extra character POV, and it sounds like in the next book we're going to have another character's POV, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, I don't know, I'm interested to see where we're going to go from here. It is very typical fantasy romance in terms of we have our female main character who like comes and is very misunderstood, like she's human and she doesn't know what's going on, she's found herself in this world, and then turns out like she's actually super powerful. Typical kind of fantasy romance plot, but I'm enjoying it. I am actually also currently in the middle of a book that I started before I went on holiday, but I didn't manage to finish it. In fact, I'm a long way off finishing it, and I also didn't want to take it with me on holiday. So that is Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. I am up to page 230, but as you can see in this book, like I've hardly made a dent in this. So I'm currently reading this. I say currently reading, I've literally obviously not read it in weeks because I was reading this up until earlier today. But I'm actually not gonna dive back into it just yet because I am, in fact, going to be starting Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. And that's because I am going to Silverstone Grand Prix on Sunday, and obviously I need to be reading an F1 romance. It's the perfect time, isn't it? And I've heard really good things about this book, so I am excited to read it. And yeah, it just feels like the perfect time to pick it up. So I'm really sorry, Redeeming Six, you're gonna have to wait, which is sad because, you know, I love this series. I was feeling a bit slumpy when I was reading this, so yeah, it was taking me a long time. I will be definitely coming back to this soon, maybe straight after this, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I've got to read it now. You know, I'm going to Silverstone, I need to read an F1 romance, so let's go read. The F1 vibes are already everything. I am loving this, I'm so happy. Okay, we are about to go book shopping and I thought I would just quickly catch up with you before we go. Also, this is the first time I've ever filmed in the car, so I'm really hoping that the audio and everything is okay, but if it's not, I apologise. Quick update on Cross the Line. I am like just over 100 pages into this and so far I think it's good vibes, I'm enjoying it, it's a good time, I'm liking it. I'm not loving it however because I do think it's a little bit too cheesy for me. I don't know, this is why I struggle with romance books. I feel like I can't deal with the cheese anymore and that's why I'm not obsessed with it, but I'm liking it and I'm loving all of like the F1 part to it, so I'm glad I'm reading it this weekend. I'm hoping to finish it today before I go to Silverstone tomorrow, but we will see. I also wanted to just quickly run through what books I'm looking for when we go shopping today. As I said before, I do have some books to unbox that are like pre-orders and a fairy loot book and some other things upstairs, so I will open those when we get back from book shopping as I show you the books. And I'm trying to be sensible in this book shopping trip. I'm trying to like stick to books I actually want to get, so I've gone through my like wish list, my TBR, and wrote down a few books that are kind of at the top of my list, so I thought I would talk you through them. First book is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've just heard so many good things about this book, and obviously it's like a historical fiction, so it's not really my normal genre, but I don't know, I just really want to read it. I want to get an Annabelle Monaghan book. Now I'm a bit worried that this will not be in any of the bookshops, to be honest, which is really sad because this is probably like what's at the top of my list. Nora Goes Off Script, I think that's what the one's called that like I most want to get, but also she has another one out that's more recent that I'd also be happy to read, so if I can find any of her books I'll be happy. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Now I'm a bit late to the party with this one because I just like when I heard about it I just originally didn't really want to read it, but then after thinking about it I do kind of want to read it before I read Just for the Summer, just because it is a series and I just think it's a book that I should read at some point because so many people love it, give it 5 stars, like it's loads of people's favourite book. So I really just decided, okay, maybe I should get it and read it before I read Just for the Summer. This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, I really want to get that one. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Now, if you've watched a few of my videos, you probably know that I didn't really like Powerless. However, I was intrigued by the ending and I think I am going to give Reckless a chance, and then if I don't like it I just will DNF the whole series, I think. But yeah, I might see if I can pick that up. It depends probably how much it is. I think it might be in the works, but I don't know if it will be like as cheap as normal books in the works because it's just come out. So if it's not that cheap then maybe I'll just have a look at how much it is on Kindle and read it on Kindle instead. I haven't read Powerful, I just don't really want to because I just don't love Powerless. So yeah, The Last Word by Taylor Adams, that's a thriller that I know that both Sarah and Destiny read this last year I think, and both loved it, and then recently I saw Ellen read it and say she really liked it, so I think I want to keep an eye out for that one, but again I don't know if that one's going to be in the bookshop. I would like to get Queen of Thieves and Chaos by K.A. Tucker. That is the third book in the Fate and Flame series, Fate and Fear series, can't remember what it's called, but that series that I am reading at the moment by K.A. Tucker. So those are the books at the top of my list. Obviously if I see something that takes my fancy, I'm not going to say no. I will see you in the bookshops. back from book shopping. Please ignore the like messy background behind me. We still have a suitcase from when we got back from holiday, and also in the process of sorting one of these clothes out because my new bookshelves are going to be going over here. So just ignore that mess, but it just felt like the best place to film. Honestly, book shopping was not that successful. Bookshops near me just don't have so many of the books that I want, which is really disappointing, but it's okay because we also have these boxes here. But first, let's go into the books that I bought. So I bought 3 books today. First, I went into the Works, and the Works was terrible. Like, literally had absolutely nothing. They didn't even have Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which I was sure they would at least have that book, but they didn't, so couldn't even get that. And then I also thought they would maybe have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. No, they didn't. I'm pretty sure that the one closest to me that's just like a walk down the street, that one I think does, and maybe even would have both of those books, so maybe I'll have to go there as well at some point. But yeah, pretty disappointing in the Works. Then I went to Waterstones, which again was fairly disappointing for the books that were actually on my list, but I did buy 3 books, only one of which was on my list. The one that was on my list that I got was The Nightingale by Christian Hanna. Now, this is not the cover that I was expecting or wanted. It just looks very different to the cover that I've seen. And actually, when we went to WH Smith's after, they did have the cover that I was more expecting, but I'd already bought this and I obviously couldn't be bothered to go and take this back and buy that version. And also, I don't hate this cover, it's just not what I was expecting. Don't know if you can see. The cover is normally blue with like some kind of tower in the background. Yeah, this is very different, but I'm still very excited to have my hands on this. Just heard such good things about it. I know that it's a very emotional book and I'm just interested to read it. If it makes me cry, good. I like to feel things, and I feel like this book will make me feel something. So yeah, that was the first book I got. I actually was gonna buy Reckless because it was in buy one get one half price, and I was gonna buy it with this book, The Scarlet Veil. So Reckless was the first one I picked up, and it was in buy one get one half price. And then on the same table I saw this one, which I haven't heard loads of people talk about, but I have seen it spoken about. So I was kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And it says, she lived for the light, he showed her the dark. That just sounds a bit of me. It was in the YA fantasy section, so I'm assuming it's a YA like fantasy romance, and it just intrigued me, so I picked this up originally to buy with Reckless. I went back to the front of Waterstones and saw a different book, and I decided to put Reckless back because I just thought I'm really not that bothered. And also it had the red sprayed edges, which I didn't really like, so I didn't end up buying Reckless because I ended up buying Talking at Night by Claire Daverley. And I didn't realise that this book was out. I saw it advertised, I think, by Waterstones before it came out, and it just sounded really good. It says, Will and Rosie meet as teenagers. They're opposites in every way. She overthinks everything. He is her twin brother's wild and unpredictable friend, but over secret walks home and late night phone calls they become closer, destined to be one another's great love story. Until one day, tragedy strikes and their future together is shattered. But as the years roll on, Will and Rosie can't help but find their way back to each other. Time and again, they come close to rekindling what might have been. What do you do when the one person you should forget is the one you just can't let go? And I don't know, it just was giving me like Love Rosie, normal people vibes, and I'm excited to read it. I'm not sure if it's actually written like as a romance or if it's more of like a fiction book, so I don't know if it's going to have a happy ending, but it really intrigued me, and it just sounds like the kind of book that I would love. So yeah, I'm very happy to pick this up, and this is the other one I got in the buy one get one half price. So those are the 3 books that I picked up while I was actually book shopping. I said I did go into WH Smith's as well, didn't see anything there other than The Nightingale, but yeah, already had bought that, so we've got the cover we've got. So now it's time to unbox some of these packages that I've had for, I don't even know how long I've had some of them, a long time. So I think 3 of them are pre-orders, and then this one is a Fairy Loot box. I'm actually going to start with the Fairy Loot box, and I have now cancelled my Fairy Loot subscription. So I was a subscriber to the YA monthly box, but I just like, I'm hardly reading any of the books. I have so many on my TBR, so I just decided to cancel it. So this is my actual last Fairy Loot box, which is quite sad, but so this is the May Fairy Loot book. Let's open it. I do know what this is actually, because I looked it up before I cancelled, and it sounded like one I would maybe be interested in, but I've not seen the cover. Ooh, okay. I'm sure that the actual cover is white. I'll try and put a picture up of what the actual cover looks like. But this is The Temptation of Magic by Megan Scott, and this is the cover. It says, he was an Imperial, her greatest threat and greatest fascination. Everything she'd been warned against, and yet she wanted him still. Okay, sounds like quite a strong romance plot. It says on the front as well, sworn to be enemies, destined to be each other's undoing. Oh, this sounds really good. I've not seen anybody talk about this book, but I'm now excited to read it. Okay, and we have some nice artwork inside. This is at the front of the book. At the back we have our main character. I'm getting a like art theme for this book. There seems to be lots of art. So I'm not a massive art fan, I'm gonna be honest. So hopefully it's not too like prevalent. And then I know one of these is another fantasy, so let's open that one. I'm guessing this one because it feels like a hardback, and I've been so excited to get this one. This book is actually on Kindle Unlimited, but I just kind of have been waiting to put it on my TBR until I had the physical book. I may well read it on my Kindle, especially because it's a hardback, but I just wanted to have like the physical one to go alongside with it while I'm reading. I've heard amazing things about this book. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Do I actually know what it's about? Literally no, but I just have seen lots of people reading it and loving it and saying how good it is. It's a fantasy romance, I'm pretty sure. It says on the back, he's fire and brimstone, I'm shattered ice. I'll gladly burn beneath him until the world comes crumbling down. And I do think it's a really nice cover as well. So yeah, this was one that I had pre-ordered. If you know me by now, I don't really read blurbs. Like if there's little things to read, I'll read those, but I'm not going to read the actual blurb. So don't know what it's about, but hopefully I will be reading this soon. It seems quite long. How many pages is it? Yeah, we're at about 550 pages. Is this a glossary? Oh wow, at the back we've got a family tree and a glossary. Okay, I love having things like that in books because trust me, I will be needing to refer to that throughout. And then we have two more packages. These are both Amazon pre-orders. One of these I've had for such a long time. Can't remember which one. I'm gonna go for this one. Oh yeah, this is the one I've had for a long time. It is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. Again, I pre-ordered this after I finished The Graham Effect because I really loved it. And this is the second book, and this one follows Diana and Shane, who I think are like the two best friends of the main characters from the first book. This is part of the, what's the series called? Campus Diary series, I think it's called. Yeah, the Campus Diary series. And I said the first book was The Graham Effect. I really loved that. This is another of Elle Kennedy's Briar University books, so they're like ice hockey sports romances, and yeah, they're just such a good, quick, easy, fun read, and I'm pretty sure I've heard really good things about this one as well, so that's great. The last book that we have, another pre-order. Ooh, it's big. I saw this one in the shops a lot today. Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. So this is the second book in her Lakefront Billionaires series. Again, I'm really excited to read this one. I loved the first book in this series, Love Redesigned. It's probably one of my favourite Lauren Asher books I've read. Really excited to read this one. So this is like small town billionaire romance series, and yeah, sounds really good. So there we have it. That is my little book haul. Okay, now we are going to finally try and update my trackers and my Notion because it is literally a complete mess. So what should we start with? Let's start with my series tracker. So hopefully you can see my screen. So this is my series tracker, and I am just definitely not up to date with this. I think I've started the series since then. I think I've like read more books from series. So let's just have a look first at these ones. It says in progress for Good Girls Guide to Murder. That's still true. Where Are You? That's still true. Darkverse, that's still true. This isn't looking as bad as I thought. In Lakefront Billionaires, I am actually now in progress because a new book added. Campus Diaries, that's up to date. So now let me just go to Goodreads and have a look at books I have read. For example, the Fate and Flame series isn't even on here. Fate and right, so basically I'm just going to go through and add these series that I haven't added yet, and then yeah, we'll have a look at how we're looking in terms of the numbers. Okay, so that really didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. I wasn't as not up to date as I thought. So basically I just had a few series that I needed to add. So I had a few series here that I needed to add. So basically from Fate and Flames down, obviously I updated some of these series that have had new books out. And I think that's all I needed to do on here. I used to, so here you can see this has series length and books read. I used to put this as how many books were gonna be in the series, but I've actually changed it to being how many books are out so far in the series, because I was getting annoyed because authors kept changing how many books there was going to be in a series, or sometimes I just couldn't find the information. So I've instead kept it to how many books are out, and that means that this number here with books left is like how many books I've got to read to be up to date, if that makes sense. I'm actually just gonna reorder. There we go. So we've got all of my in progress next to each other. That means I am now 26% there. And if we look here in progress, I am in progress with 17 series, up to date with 11. I have shared a template for this tracker before. When I last uploaded a finishing every series video, some people asked if they could have a copy of this like spreadsheet that I made, and I did create a template of it, so I will try and remember to leave it linked in the description if I can remember. If I don't remember, sorry, please remind me. Otherwise though, I think I am going to be doing another finishing every series video soon, because yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of series to get up to date with. Now let's head over to Notion, because I think I have some things that I should be able to tick off, which is nice. Okay, so here we have my Notion. We are on my all things books tab, and I need to update some of this. So 24 books to read in 2024. I think I have now read some of these when I have been on holiday recently. Have I? I'm sure I have. Red Queen. There we go. So let's tick that one off, and it was about a 4-star read. Is that the only one? Okay, no, that is it. I thought that I had been much better with that, but okay, apparently not. So we've now read 11 of those books. Some of these are on my TBR, I think, for this month, aren't they? But we all know that doesn't mean I'll definitely get to them. But okay, now we have my monthly TBR, and this is still showing my June TBR. So I guess I need to add my July TBR. So I'm going to do that, and then we're also going to tick off some of these summer romances. So let's do these first. So Wild Love I've read, Girl Abroad I've read, You With a View, Cross the Line I'm obviously currently reading, so I should be able to tick that off soon because I'm planning to finish it today, but it feels wrong to tick it off before I finished it. Okay, so that's not too bad. So 3 of the books read. I count summer as like June, July, August, so you know, we've still got some time to get through some more. Okay, I did it. So we have my July TBR here already created, but what I haven't done is added all of the author names, so I should probably do that quickly. And then I've not read any of the books from my July TBR yet, so let's quickly go here and we'll go by the table view. Let's fill out the author names. Okay, so there we go. We have updated my TBR here. This isn't looking great because I've literally, oh, actually, Cross the Line, I can move, I am reading. Okay, so that is, I think, updated. I have not had any more 5-star reads to add to this page, so I think that is also my Notion updated, so that is great. So I'm now going to go and have a cup of tea, do some more reading. By the way, I watched F1 qualifying. Wasn't a good time because Charles didn't even make it to Q3. He's starting 11th tomorrow, which is very sad for the race I'm going to watch, but also maybe we'll get to see him do some overtakes, so actually maybe it's a good thing. I'm very excited to go, but the football is about to start, so I need to watch that with Ollie, but also I'll try and sneak in some reading probably because I really want to finish this book and finish this video this evening so I can get it up for you tomorrow while I'm out. Right, bye. Right, I'm just going to make this really quick. England are about to go into penalties, and also I have had a couple of glasses of wine at this point, and I don't want to be here talking to you for too long because I'll probably just embarrass myself. So what I am going to say is I finished this book. It was fun. I loved the F1 element, although like some like bits of F1 were a little bit annoying. But saying that, overall it was a good F1 romance, one of the better ones that I've read, and it was enjoyable. However, 3.75 is the maximum that I could give this because I did like the romance, but I didn't love it. It's Brother's Best Friend, which normally, well, I always say I love Brother's Best Friend, but whenever I read Brother's Best Friend books, I actually don't really like them, so I don't know. But as I said, I liked the romance. I didn't love it. I think that I found the book a bit monologue-y, like we just got way too much like inner thoughts and processing and stuff for me. Like I don't need that. I want it to be a bit faster paced, a bit more dialogue. I don't need things spelt out to me in terms of how the characters are feeling. I want to be able to connect with them myself, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was still enjoyable and I'm going to give it 3.75 stars. So that wraps up the end of this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this style of video. Let me know if you would like to see more of them. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. All of those things really do help me out. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!